So you're all prepared to do it already?
How do you do that with more Catholic parishes? Because I would think, at least with Protestant churches, it could be a little bit easier, where the Catholic Church, it's with the whole church-state thing, at least with parishes, it's a lot more difficult.
You still have freedom of speech in a Catholic church, and you also have, just go to a weekday mass.
They'll throw you out.
They'll throw you out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It depends where you go and how long you're there.
Especially if you're doing something political, that it's tougher, at least in my experience.
It depends.
Well, then make it
depends
a-
what parish you're in and how long you're there, and who complains. If someone complains, then the pastor may feel like he's under some legal obligation to respond to the complaint. He might be interested in looking the other way.
Most pastors will not cooperate unless the diocese tells them it's okay.
And if they don't cooperate, you can put flyers in the cars while people are in the church service.
Absolutely.
And just
We do
run.
that, we get yelled at, we do it anyway.
Fun.
Don't ever put them on their windshield, I'll put them in the doorknobs.
Blow them
They
up.
hate it when you put them on their windshields.
Oh,
And I had priests call me and yell at me, what did you mean by doing that?
we'll try to.
By the way, the candidate, I don't know what rules are like for state campaigns here, but the candidate I was working for would go to churches and ask for prayers, not votes. And it was very effective, and you can't get yelled at. I mean, pastors still tried to kick him off, but it's a lot harder when you're going person to person saying, "Hi, my name's Keith Fimian, I'm running for U.S. Congress. I'd really appreciate your prayers." Like everyone's like, prayers? Okay, I can do that. And Facebook is a great means right now, especially on college campuses. What about some of the problems that we've run into is that we just don't have anything happening at the local level.
Yeah.
There's just not enough movement there. And you're going to have trouble in probably a good portion of your districts and councils and towns. You probably have city councils, and because there's some states where you don't have this, but you've got city councils, right? And then you've got county boards. Are there pro-lifers in any of those?
For the most part, Massachusetts has Democrats running everything, and most of them are not very pro-life.
That's amazing.
Now, I'm running for city council in Worcester, and but
How's that going?
I'm the only person out of the 11 people that.
Is Kate Tilley pro-life or not? Do we know?
She doesn't really talk about it, because she doesn't know who.
People keep telling me she's pro-life, and I don't,
It depends on what their
yeah.
It depends on who
definition of
asks
that
her.
word is.
Yeah.
Jay seems to think she's pro-life.
Yeah,
One of the things that
yeah,
I'm
she might
trying
be.
to do
She-
is
she's
get in
adopted.
front of church groups and give my story, my testimony about being pregnant and how God has actually moved me from place to place and occupation to occupation to, at some point in time, take all of those previous experiences and now use them in the political arena to go and make a difference. And so we're just in the process now of reaching out to try to get in front of the women's groups in the different churches and the Bible studies and whatever. And if you can find the conservative churches, you can reach out to those women and men who are pro-life and conservative. Otherwise, and they may be Democrats, a lot of them probably are. And we're hoping that that'll be the difference.
Yeah, that's the trick that's going to work for a lot of you, is going after the lowest hanging fruit first, and then they're going to be connected to people in other parishes to get that first person. Go after the.
I think this pro-life thing is, I really think it should be renamed to the right to life. Because I think the pro-life is really not beneficial to because now it's older people. And this abortion thing it's going both ways now, older people, younger people. And I think if we get right back to the right to life, I think we'll join the young people together. We have to get more young people, because when we're in Washington, all we see was young people. And they want to get on board, but we're not inviting them. There has to be some way of music or some kind of intelligence that way. We're not running this like a campaign like Barack Obama. We're not
The other
running it
part
like.
to pro-life is that it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because the pro-aborts would say, well, we're pro-life, we're for the life of the
Right.
family.
Yeah.
So there's some validity to that.
The other side of it, and it goes to the telling of the story, I mentioned I'm kind of silent no more. which is post-abortive men and women telling their story. I personally am post-abortive. I have told my story. And one of the things that touches are the high school and college age kids. When I've told my story, those are the ones that are the first to come up to me. I do, yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and that's a great opportunity to tell your story, because
And
anywhere,
the kids are
it's
the
very
ones-
hard for people to say, no, you can't, you can't tell your story.
Right.
So for all of you, it's going to be finding unique ways of getting into these institutions. But we all know how to get enough people at a first meeting, right? I mean, like, that's always doable. It's always possible to find the 20 or 30 people. The problem is getting those people engaged and active, right? I mean, if anybody is having difficulty doing, like, recruiting in a given situation and getting people to the first meeting, please, like, raise your hand, because we can work on that too. But I think that that's generally the easier side of the equation. I mean, you know, free food or whatever it is, get people there. But the problem is that planning and that engagement. So let's get to that point. Now, a lot of you were recruited, and you're unique in the way that you were recruited. You, like, inspiring stories, individual crises, and Gene, you're probably the one that's closest to what I'm generally looking for, where really what happens is it's a friend that goes over to somebody else and says, hi, will you come to this meeting? Or, when we go clipboard, I do it mostly on college campuses, I do it on churches, and I'll do it wherever else, but mostly on college campuses, we'll get 60 names an hour per person. So it's very fast and very effective. And when I talk about college groups, I'll talk about that quite later in the day, but we can radically change campuses, and I'm right now targeting 15 in the country to go from whatever they are currently to 80% pro-life, to an institutional change, so that every RA does crisis pregnancy counseling, or is trained in crisis pregnancies, every orientation discusses abortion, and that they do post-abortive counseling on campus, or they make it available through campus. Because I think those three key institutional changes will radically change the number of pro-aborts or number of pro-choicers coming out of college campuses. The shift is 50% to 60% in college. That's where we lose most people.
What's the shift again?
We go from about, I think it's actually 43%, sorry. We go from 63% pro-life entering college to 69% pro-choice leaving college. We lose in college.
Yeah.
So if I can encourage anybody to target any specific group, it would be the college groups.
Gee, we've got a fortune around here.
Yeah, I mean-
UMass Boston.
We got 137 colleges in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I almost went to Boston University. But
I would like you to spend a few minutes on that first meeting, because I think you need a place for that first meeting.
oh no, that's what I'm getting to. What I was just going to say is that as far as going detail by detail for recruiting, there's a lot of different ways of recruiting, and it's very individualized. I was going to, is that what you wanted to, oh, you want to go into how to recruit for that first meeting?
Yeah.
Or you want to go in how to engage for that at that first meeting?
Well,
Who are you trying to
I
target?
think you can build an organization if you can get them all together, but you gotta get them all together first. So I think how to get them to that first meeting.
Who are you trying to get?
People who,
Where do you live? Where, like,
in
give me a-
Amesbury, Mass, right up near the New Hampshire border, a big circle, Newburyport, Amesbury, Newbury, Salisbury, up
Okay.
up there.
And so the churches are liberal, and you've got a liberal city council, and
Amen.
you've got
The governor comes
High
up
schools
there
that are
to talk
liberal.
to us.
the what?
The governor comes up there to talk to us frequently.
Oh, really? And you have a Democratic governor now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have pro-board governors
Yeah.
too.
So, who are you trying to get at those meetings? Who are the pro-lifers in the community
I
you live
don't
in?
know. There's damn few of them, they're all Democrats.
I mean, worst case scenario, go contact hopefully National Rights Life has a list of people that live in your area
I've
and
got
have
a
given.
list of people who
Hopefully,
signed petitions for pro-life.
That's good.
how many?
A couple hundred.
That's not bad. I mean, I would go through, you've got unique cases as far as how difficult it is to recruit in Massachusetts. But, yeah, you've got to have some conservative churches, I would hope.
Yeah,
Yes? No?
yes,
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little